So I want to ask you about this current issue going on that I joined a call for. It's a big deal, and in some ways, it's a return back to an old issue, is it not?
Uh, yes and no. I think that we kind of started off by talking about how our organization started in response to the 1969 oil spill, and we're kind of full circle now, trying to prevent another major oil spill on the coast. But it's not really full circle. It's just a continuous line. There's been two national disasters here in Santa Barbara: the 1969 spill and the 2015 spill, and then there's just been countless other small accidents and spills and leaks and other harms from the industry over the years. So it's not that we're back to where we started. It's that this has been a continuous kind of issue here in this part of the state. So we are still fighting this. So now there's this new oil company from Texas called Sable that is trying to restart all of Exxon's old equipment on the Gaviota coast. And when I say old, I mean that Exxon formerly owned it and that it's old.
Okay. Okay.
These platforms were built to last about 30 years. It's been 40 or so since they were built. So they're already past the date that they were supposed to be phased out. And all of that equipment includes the pipeline that burst back in 2015 and caused the last major spill here, the Refugio oil spill that we talked about. So this new company, which as Linda talked about, is they're not like Exxon. They don't have billions of dollars to deal with problems like if and when something goes wrong. They don't have any other assets except for these platforms and pipelines and processing facilities on the Gaviota coast. If something goes wrong, which we think it will, if they're able to use this pipeline again, then they go bankrupt. And as Linda said, the state would be on the hook for, whatever the cost of dealing with this disaster would be. So it is a step backwards. I think that's correct. It's a step backwards to a time when the oil industry could kind of get away with kind of any whatever it wanted to do. So this company is trying to restart this pipeline. They're just patching it up to try to get it just up to the point where they can run oil through it, and it's a very scary project, because if they start using this pipeline again, we know it's going to break again. Even the county of Santa Barbara hired experts to look at this, and the county's experts said, if you use this pipeline again, most likely there will be a spill every year and a major rupture every 4 years. Even Exxon 10 years ago, after the last spill, didn't want to reuse this pipeline. They proposed building a new pipeline because they knew this pipeline wasn't safe. So now we are at this very kind of scary point where this new company with no assets, no ability to remediate another spill if and when it happens, is trying to start this whole operation up. And there's when you have that much risk involved of another disaster, it makes this a very critical issue for us here on the Central Coast.